important news if you're planning to take the CELPIP exam soon. And now it has been announced that CELPIP is going to be calculating an average score. So this is going to be an average score of all the 4 modules. IELTS does the same thing. It takes an average of the total score from reading, listening, writing, speaking, divided by 4. So on your mark sheet from now on, you're going to get the average score. How does it affect you? That's more important. Let's discuss that. It really does affect you if your university, educational institutions, or your workplace, when they require CELPIP, they just look at the average. If they announce that, because this is new, if they announce that, if they have updated it on their websites, it's going to help you. But if you're doing CELPIP for immigration purposes, it is not going to change much, because in immigration, you still need each module to be over 9 in most cases, and in some cases over 7. So in this video, I'm going to discuss more about how this affects immigration and in general, immigration-related questions for CELPIP, since we're going to be on the topic anyway. Most people need a 9 or more in CELPIP, and the total score is 12. But if you get 9 or more, and in some cases 10 or more, that's all you need. You do not need an 11 or 12. So getting 9 or more in each module is usually enough. But in some cases, if you are one of the lucky few who have good points for your age, for your education, for your work history, your CRS scores might be that good that you might just need a 7. Now, what do you need? Each person is different. It's best to consult an immigration lawyer for this, but chances are if you're one of the people applying for express entry or the immigration programs to Canada, you might need a 9, most likely in all modules. So unfortunately for immigration, the average score is not going to change much. Okay, now that that's done, that update is done, let's talk about a few more things, because these questions are very common. When you register for CELPIP, there is the LS and the CELPIP General. So the first question is, what do I do for my immigration? LS or the other one? You want to do CELPIP General for mostly everything, okay? For education, immigration, for your job purposes as well. CELPIP General is the exam that employers, teachers, and immigration is asking for. CELPIP LS, listening and speaking, that test is only for the citizenship test where you need to pass by a score of 5 or more, okay? Now, another update, by the way, that I should talk about is maybe not that important, but for people who have scored M before in CELPIP, M means failure. So it's a score of below 3. Now it's no more M, so now it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is how it should be, but now they've changed it. So just FYI for you guys if you are thinking about what M is and you want to avoid M at all costs. Another question is, how long is CELPIP valid for? CELPIP is valid, guys, for 2 years only. So if you have done the exam 2 years ago, it's no longer valid. It's better to, not better, it's a required thing to do it again if 2 years have passed. Let's talk about reevaluation, another very important question about CELPIP. Reevaluation can be done for all 4 modules, but in reading and listening, I have never seen people get an upgrade or a downgrade. Those scores are marked by computers, and in reevaluation, they just check if the computers marked it correctly, which 10 out of 10 times they do, okay? Writing and speaking is where the difference occurs. So if you want to do reevaluation, it's better to do it for writing and speaking. When students ask me, though, if they should go for it, I always tell them, if you felt that in writing and speaking, you finished everything on time, your word limit was good, you didn't make any major mistakes, and in writing you proofread everything, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything according to you went well, then go for reevaluation. There is a huge chance your scores might improve by 1 to 2 points, and in very rare cases, they even go up by 3 points. I've never seen more than 3 points, 4 points I've never heard, but 3 points jump can be expected if you think you have done everything correctly. If you know you have screwed up, if you have made major mistakes, of course, just don't do it out of desperation, because you have to pay for that too, so you will be wasting money. So reevaluation is a good option, and it usually works because another examiner is checking what you have done, your speaking recordings as well as your writings, and it's a human being marking. Every human being is different. So in a different perspective, the other person might think that you have answered the questions correctly, or your grammar and vocab are on par. Most importantly, task response is where human minds really differ. So an examiner might see your answers for writing and speaking and say, well, the task response for this does not answer the question. I feel like you're going off topic. This is not related to the question. And another examiner might say this is 100% related. Yeah, I feel you have answered the question. And this is a very subjective thing. It varies from person to person. So there's no guaranteeing of what if it will improve your score or not. But task response is one big area where your marks can have a big jump or they can stay the same. So that brings us to my next query. Does reevaluation actually decrease your scores? No, it doesn't. It either stays the same or it goes up. So there is no risk for it. The only risk is you basically might lose money if it stays the same. How to prepare for CELPIP? A very good question. For preparation, check out everything on my YouTube channel. You know, I wish, because I want to be fair, I wish I could recommend other sources too, but really other sources are misleading in many cases. You get very easy mock tests, very easy answers, and you think the exam is easy, but it's not. So look at everything on this channel. There are a lot of links to some great videos in the description that you can check out. On our blog, the blog link is also in the description. You see everything written down. So on YouTube, it's on videos. Everything written down is on our blogs. Check that out. And if you want the best version of CELPIP preparation, check out our 15-hour course. In the description, it comes with 5 real exam-like mock tests. Very challenging. I got a review today. Students said your exams, your mock tests reflect the real exam. It's just like the real thing, and they scored a very good mark. I don't remember what it is, but I'm going to be posting it very soon after this video. So check that out. It includes the really challenging mock tests, 15 hours of videos covering all tips and tricks you need to know for the exam, examiner marking criteria, and CELPIP 10+ templates with a money-back guarantee. So that's the best way to prepare for your CELPIP exam. And talking about immigration schemes or programs, are CELPIP results valid for express entry and PNP for both programs? Yes, they are. So under express entry, you have federal, you have skilled, you have other programs, and in PNP, it's the provincial nominee program. CELPIP is valid for both. You do not need to do a different exam for 2 different streams if you're applying to 2 different streams. Can you combine the scores of CELPIP? Another common question. For example, you need a 9+. And this is a common problem. You need a 9+, and in one exam you got 11, 11, 10, 7, and 7 is usually speaking. Speaking is the hard part. The next exam you got 9 in speaking, but other scores are less. So in both exams you were not able to score more than 9 in everything. Can you combine the two? No, you cannot. It's everything that I'm saying. All the answers are basically making it hard for you. So the harder option is the correct answer. You cannot combine scores, so it has to be one exam where you have to do everything over 9 for immigration. But again, with this average thing coming up, you might not have to. For education and for jobs, for immigration, you still have to, because we know that in IELTS, they give you an average mark, but you still have to score over 7 in all modules and over 8 in listening. So the same thing remains in CELPIP, but it's a good thing to see the average score to give you a little idea about your progress from test to test. So guys, these are the common questions. You might have some of these questions, and I have a list of FAQs, an extensive list about CELPIP on our blog, which you can check out as well. Check out all the great links in the description, and if you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk soon. Take care.